Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Comedy Corner.
The Comedy Hacienda? Can we call it that?
Is it Hacienda Corner?
No, it's like a home for comedy. It's like a nice.
You know no Spanish.
It's a bungalow. The Comedy Bungalow.
You're like the
Corner?
You're like the opposite of Mark
The
Viera.
Casa. Can we say Casa? Comedy
Casa? It sounds like shit.
It's,
I don't know. Something about it. Casa sounds like shit.
What?
I don't know.
why would he say that?
Casa's house.
I know.
Exactly. All right. You know what?
Comedy Casa?
This is the Comedy
Corner. We got Mark Viera here. Good friend of mine. Peter Rosenberg is here too.
I love
time
That's
on
my
Comedy
dude.
Corner?
No, I don't think so. I think I've been on one early on.
Oh, all right.
But Mark Viera is one of my favorite guys, so
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
I'm happy to be here.
Mark Viera is at the legendary. Do I look at this camera? Yes, sir. The legendary is a black man here telling me where to look. The legendary Caroline's on Broadway this weekend.
This weekend.
If this is the future, you missed it. But if it's right now, if you're watching this now, it's now.
Now.
This weekend. Right? March
You handle that really well, sir.
20th, 21st, 22nd,
February.
23rd. What did I say,
You
March?
really went in the
Sorry.
future though.
February.
I don't know where you are.
I don't know how to say February, that's why. February 20th.
February is weird, let's be
21st,
honest.
February.
2nd, 23rd.
Yeah, we in there Thursday through Sunday, man. You know.
Just living the Latino life.
What we call high octane comedy, because there's comedy and then there's high octane comedy. There's
What is up with your comedy
it's
career?
elite. My comedy career is we're moving forward. It's always progress and evolution. You got to allow for that. And I got BET Comic View coming out in a couple weeks.
Okay.
I got Stand Up Revolution. My boy Gabriel Iglesias on Comedy Central. That should be
I
out
heard about that.
in the end of the spring.
Where's that? Where's that tape?
Well, we taped it already. It's already in the
In
can.
LA?
It's yeah, we taped in LA.
In L.A.?
Mm-hmm.
And what's up with him? Is he cool?
He's great, man.
Gabe?
He's
He's been here.
Wait, which one is this?
Gabriel
that's
Iglesias. I'm
Fluffy.
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 I'm not fat, I'm
Who is
fluffy.
it?
You never
I
met
never
Fluffy?
met Fluffy.
You weren't here?
No, I love that guy.
It's my man 50
Dude.
grand.
That's why I'm confused.
No, he's. You know, I always
guy.
say this about him. Like, we don't see each other often. We've met so many times throughout our careers. We don't see each other, but when he's met you before, he knows you're a good dude. It's like you've been hanging with him every day. He's just
Those
that
love,
kind of
right?
guy. Yeah,
He's a pretty big star, right?
He
He's a
blew up
pretty
the
big.
la-
Yeah, man. He's
Saif.
Sorry.
dude. He's a. You know what's funny? There's a star and then there's a comedy star. This dude is a comedy star. I mean, by far sells out everywhere he goes. A merchandise
earns it.
monster.
Funny.
A merchandise monster. His DVDs
Really?
go platinum. Yeah,
That good, huh?
They're that good. Because he appeals to a broad market. He's
Right.
not, even though he's Mexican, he really doesn't get on stage and go, hey, I'm the Mexican Fluffy dude. He's just that guy, man. So it was a pleasure working with him. And this thing on Comedy Central is going to be off the hook. He has his own special called Stand Up Revolution. He has a bunch of comics. He has his own cartoon. And
Nice.
then, and he's just out there just trying to push
He's killing
other
it.
dudes' careers. So
Is it not all Latin comics?
No.
All types of
It's anybody and everybody who's funny. He tries to, put them on display.
How many Latin comics you know?
Just three. Just me, Gabriel, and George Lopez. I don't know many.
You don't know any other ones?
None. You hold on, real quick. You can't think of any others.
Off the top of my head, no.
None.
Carlos Mencia. Never met him?
Oh yeah, I met him.
Met him, but you don't know him.
I wouldn't consider him.
I
I consider him Latino, but not
a comedian. I knew about to say comedians.
Wow.
Like Carlos.
That.
You knew it was like that. Stop acting
I
ignorant.
mean-
comics don't mess with Mencia.
I could understand if you don't like his comedy. You're just saying he's not a comedian.
Well, I don't.
What if you said
to
favorite
each his
Latin?
own.
If you said favorite Latin thieves, would you include him?
Yes,
He's okay. Hold on.
This is
What?
Comedy Corner, right?
it's comedy corner.
corner.
Yeah,
He's a known thief.
known
Fact.
Because you guys are all
And
so.
Other comedians have put their hands on him based on
And
his
there's no
thievery.
problem.
Can I say thievery?
Yes,
No
of course.
problem saying it. Like, yeah. Or anybody.
No one has a problem saying it.
Like massive amounts of jokes he steals.
Yeah, when he had the show on Comedy Central, I even think admittedly said that the pressure was so high. The pressure was just so, so much for him that he had to do what he had to do to keep the ideas fresh and rolling. And if that, I don't know if he was saying if that meant going into the back of a comedy club, because he was creating sketches. So he was trying to bring fresh sketches, to the forefront, but him never really being a political comedian or whatever.
Right.
He really didn't have, he didn't really have that kind of flair. So this is not a hater thing.
I got you.
But
I'm always curious when people say that. What's a joke that someone says that he stole?
The claim was that he would watch comedians and then come back to a different comedy club that same night and try to work their material that same night.
Same night?
Same night.
That's impressive. I think you should almost respect him for that.
And he had his hands put on him by Joe Rogan, and we all know. I mean, the comedians that know Joe Rogan know he's kind of a
I wouldn't want my hands
no
put on.
crap kind of dude, and he's very vocal.
Yeah,
as to kind of pro comedy. Hey, keep your hands to yourself. Keep your lines to you, and he loves you. If you're great, he loves you because he's got a bunch of friends that he rolls with in L.A. But Rogan had to put his hands on him. Yeah,
wow.
Yeah.
Rogan's a big guy too.
Rogan's a tough dude.
He's jacked.
Yeah, and believe it or not, George Lopez choked him out in front of a club, in front of the store, in LA.
Wow.
And George is not really. I know George has had a past. Coming from East Los Angeles, you got to know how to survive.
Yeah.
But that all went down, man. That was a big.
Like damn, like that, like you
like
stole
that.
my shit, put hands on.
Like 15 minutes of my material. George came out of his house. Drove to the comedy, waited for him outside.
Carlos is going to be here tonight. Let me go down there.
Exactly. Well, no, people were calling George in his house. Like, this dude just did your material.
Oh.
Other comics.
George left his house that moment, put on some slippers and some house pants and went out there. And George, people don't realize that he looks small on television. He's my size, about 6 feet. He's a pretty big Mexican dude, man, and
damn,
and he's been through it. He's not 25 years old, man.
Shit,
he's been through it. So
that's a lot.
That's a lot.
I have a tendency I've heard similar jokes that I have that other people have.
Of course.
And depending on how close it is, and
I've heard at least 4 comedians do try cocks again, just to let you know.
Is that true or no?
At least 4.
You being serious or
you
no?
know what it is?
I would believe it.
No, somebody just
that's
told
the
me.
one I thought he stole. No, you stole that.
No, Sipes faces is there. He's looking at me
Somebody
like,
just told
really?
me. Somebody just told me that somebody's doing that joke.
You see, but that's
no, really.
Yeah.
That's just look. This
you
is
made up. Try
no.
cocks
Hold on
again?
a second. Hold on a
Somebody
second. Because
actually
you and I
gave
have
me that.
talked about this before. The truth in comedy is, if people can steal your stuff, you're not doing good enough stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 'cause it's not personal or about you.
Yeah, then it's not. Then it's stealable.
But let's
When
be
you
honest.
start
Try
doing
cocks
stuff-
against that. It's a joke.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
when you start
It's
doing
a joke.
It's a joke joke.
When you start
party
doing
joke.
material that almost
Good one.
makes it impossible, that immediately when someone starts to talk about that stuff, you get a phone call. That's how you know you're playing in kind of the arena on your own.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I get calls and somebody go, yo, somebody's doing a grandmother out the window. I know immediately you're trying to rip me, dude.
But there's a lot of grandmothers out the window.
No,
In life,
they
you mean?
are in life. I don't know any comedians that
My
do.
grandmother used to poke her head out the window, and I could talk about
All
it.
I'm saying is that if you do that
think
joke
you
this
should.
weekend at Caroline's while you're with me, I'm gonna have to. We're gonna have to talk about that.
Before you're introduced on stage, you will come out on my set and put your hands around my throat.
I
Oh,
will.
that would be so tight.
I will.
Never seen an opener
Never
beat
seen-
down by the headliner. I'm sure it's happened.
I'm sure it's happened.
I'm sure it's happened.
You ever got step 2 on stage?
Never on stage, but
So,
by
Jim Jeffries?
by audience.
Yeah.
I had, check this out, craziest story. I was in Columbus, Ohio. I had 4 old ladies jump me on stage because I was talking about my wife, which I do a lot in my set. And I had these 4 old, I talk about arguing with my wife. And one day, we get into an argument and she, she stepped to me. And I said, man, you fat bitch. And I said that. And, and
Set up to
knowing,
that joke was
knowing,
amazing.
dude, knowing that when I said those words to my wife, I immediately knew I should have never said those. Like,
That's the point of the story.
right. The point of the story is
And the setup to
there's
it
some
is
there's some stuff you say to your wife that the second it leaves your mouth, you go, I should have never said those. It's
Like,
immediate.
you fat bitch. I shouldn't say this.
no, right? You fat bitch.
Fat is really
Right,
bitch.
you
bitch,
said
could
I
survive.
should have never said that immediately following by following you fat bitch. I should have never said it. I apologize. Like and these ladies they were drinking. They were like 60 or more, as far as they jumped me on stage and were throwing ice from their little bucket that they had.
Like,
on
no,
their
you
table.
did.
You said that.
Yeah, white lady. Like I got jumped by the Golden Girls, by Blanche, by
Blanche Devereaux.
What do you mean jump? They came on stage?
They came on stage.
Hit you with their bag?
No, with ice. They were throwing. Don't say that about your wife. And with
Oh, it's
throwing
Blanche
ice
Devereaux,
at me,
Rose
dude.
Nylon.
Rose Nylon.
Dorothy Zbornak.
and
And Ma.
Ma's Spornak too, though.
No,
Presumably.
that's her married name.
That was her married name. You're right.
Yes.
Well, I forgot her name. Sophia.
Sophia. Something
Yeah.
Italian, right?
Yeah.
Presumably.
Yeah, no, it's definitely Italian.
I don't know if you're aware of this, but Cipha and I, we have a television show coming out soon.
Okay.
On that television show, we are comedic. Our attempt at being comedic.
Right.
And I definitely steal all the time from the people that I admire, not words, but delivery, and there's just sort of a lot of my comedy is just borrowed. I consider myself to be a funny
everybody
person.
does that when you start.
But like, yeah, I mean, I know there's things that I have developed that are my own.
Because that's the safety zone for you.
Yeah, I know.
Like a David Brent.
I do a lot of David. There's one.
Yeah.
Rush Office. Like
Yeah.
I have
Carell,
one,
but the English version.
I have one on the show where I hit this, where I'm talking about a couple of things, and I just go like this. And that's literally just straight. That's what he does. That's just like, he takes two things in his head and then he'll do a physical motion to do it. And it just naturally does it because some things I steal so much naturally because I love comedy. That's part of who I am.
Yeah.
And then years later you do it and you're like, oh, that's a ripoff. I copied that years ago.
Yeah, I had a conversation with a comedian and, doing an interview for a podcast. I said the same thing. I said, my mannerisms on stage are, even though I'm doing them, I'm in my heart, I'm emulating my favorites. Like I'm a big John Ritter because he was a stand-up that got big on television.
John Ritter was a stand-up?
Yeah.
Comedy
Yeah.
corner?
Never knew that.
Yes, sir.
Factoid.
He was a stand-up. That's
There you
that's
go.
how he got
That's
noticed.
your gem for the day.
Yes. And Jerry Lewis, if you watch Jerry Lewis, his physicality is over the chart.
crazy.
And him
I see-
and
I
he
feel
was
that. I see what you're saying.
And he has that facial expression where he could deliver a punchline with his facial expression. And then Bill Cosby went on to be the same way. Yeah, I feel like that's what I'm doing. My facial expressions, I want to be a part of my punchline. Sometimes it is a punchline. Sometimes something physical is a punchline.
No, but you do have moves. I can see.
Yeah.
You're like when you walk across the stage or run across the stage.
Exactly.
You got moves like Jagger.
I need you to be a superstar.
Right.
One, because I want to say, hey, I know that guy. Two, your material is too funny.
Yeah.
If you're watching this, please, this guy, every time I do a show, I either ask Mark to come or if he says he's coming, I sit back and relax and go, show's going to be great.
No, he's
And I have to force myself not to put him last because he's doing me a favor.
But you want to put him last because he ruins it.
He's last. You can't go after him. People are like, I don't want to go after Mark. I don't want to go after Mark.
No, you are someone who is at a different level. And I guess we've been.
But what?
I'm waiting though. I did. Let's be honest. I already thought you'd be treating us the way Kevin Hart treats us. I mean, come on. You see, once a year, maybe for a minute.
Yeah.
That's where I'm waiting to get to with you. I don't want you to talk to us anymore.
I want it.
Yeah.
I want it.
I want you to not want to talk to us.
Nobody wants it more than me, and I've been on the verge, man. You know that.
You're on the precipice.
Yeah, I'm right there. I'm literally. I had a sit down with Russell Simmons, and I'm grateful even that a guy like Russell Simmons wants to sit down with me. But and the conversation was real simple. And why aren't you a superstar? Why? What is what is not happening that you're not already a superstar? And coming from him, that means I'm right there. I'm knocking on the door of and for me, superstar means that everybody thinks I'm funny. I don't mean the Latinos or the hood or the Bronx or Brooklyn.
Your jokes are just so fits everybody. It's about relationships and family and.
Yeah.
Do you have a block, a mental, personal block? Are you blocking yourself? Are you holding yourself back?
I don't think I'm holding myself back at all. When I have to perform, I perform. Okay. Every set I've had on television has been.
You heard the term standing in your own way?
Yeah.
Don't make me back you and then you're fucking scared of success.
No.
You're scared of success.
Never.
You scared?
Never.
Get in his face. You got to get in his
no.
face.
You
want to help
The only thing people are telling me is that you got to be in LA to really in this particular business, you got to be in LA to make it. And
you're at the LA point.
Is that true? I don't.
Now I visit LA, but I'm not an LA Knight. Like I'm not a dude that's out in LA for 6-7 months at a time, based on the fact that
you got to hit the clubs in LA. There's tons of Asians.
Just be out there, Just be out there shopping yourself, if you will, to them.
I just feel everybody's doing that.
Right.
Everybody's doing that in LA.
Well, the people who go out there specifically to do that are corny, to me. Like, you know comics that are not ready to go and they go, hey, man, I'm going to LA next month, man. I'm about to do this.
Believe me.
And you feel like saying, dude, you are so not ready for that. Yeah. And they do it. For me, it's more, I'm so ready, But I've now developed my career so much that I'm being pulled.
And your life is here too.
Right. My life is here.
You're an adult with shit to handle.
Right. It's hard.
I think, my personal opinion, I think he's at the point where he doesn't necessarily need to go to L.A. I think you could have it pop off here. How old are you?
40. Just
God, thank God you're a male comedian, though. You're
Yeah.
in the right business. I mean, you look around at all the biggest ones of the last 10 years. Louis C.K.
even Chelsea's not a baby.
No, that's a nice way of putting it.
Boy's probably 40, right? 38.
Got to be
39.
around there.
yeah, oh yeah. I think Joe, he told us. He was here.
But
He's
even
41.
Lisa Lampanelli, how many nights have I been, through my career, I'm on a show and Lisa was on the show and then all of a sudden she just wasn't, like you said.
Right.
Just
That's what I'm saying. Dane Cook was in his 40s when he blew. A lot of,
Yeah.
so it's not like, it's nice. If you were a rapper, we'd be sitting here having a pathetic conversation. It's a really sad, in fact, we just had one.
Yeah. we just had
that conversation, but that's not where you're at. So it'll happen.
Yeah.
It'll happen. But you are
I'm
ready.
ready, man.
You are.
I really am. I'm ready, Si. I mean, you know that, man. But
No, I don't think that it's not you. You got the material. I've seen you do over an hour. I've seen you do over an hour and then pop into Schwarzenegger impersonations for another 20 minutes. Like,
for 20 minutes. It's all of this that I do here.
See how fast that happened?
And my shirt is popping out. Look at it.
Popping out. It's like coming.
It's like I'm coming to gym.
It's like you're coming all
And
day.
I come here to Hot 97 and I come again. I'm
Coming all day. All day you're
I have
coming.
the happiest life here.
Tell people your, Facebook and all.
Let's
Instagram.
do it, man. You can always follow me. It's Mark Viera on Twitter, Mark Viera Comedian on Facebook, and Mark Viera Comic.
Oh, we figured out the problem.
Instagram.
Figured out the problem. None of them match. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all different. What are you doing? Fix it.
Be the same?
Yes.
Should be.
Okay.
Damn, I just fixed your whole career.
You do.
You're out of here.
What's your
now
Facebook?
Mark Viera Comedian.
Mark Viera Comedian. And
Mark
what's your
Viera
Twitter?
Comic. It's Mark Viera.
You could change that.
Yeah.
You can change your Twitter name, right?
Yeah, easy.
Yeah, it's time to, and that's the key?
It won't hurt. It's not the key, but it won't hurt. It'll only help. Trust and believe.
I be to rap, but
Keep it to lock. I be to rap, but keep it to lock. Why?
All right, look, Caroline's on Broadway. That's 50th and Broadway in New York City, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and Cipha Sounds booked Sunday night will be at other nights.
Oh, really?
He slides in. That's how he does.
Yeah.
That's how he does
When
with Mark
he
Viera.
goes in. Whoa.
Right.
Whoa.
That's how he slides in. He just makes it happen.
Go, please support this guy. Check him out. You will not be disappointed. And if you're watching this in the future,
You missed out.
sorry.